Do you have thin hair? Well, here's how to add shape without losing length. So some of you may have longer hair, but you feel like it's just always constantly falling flat. The first thing is you have to understand, if you have thin hair, fine hair, the longer your hair is, the more it's going to get weighed down by the length. That's the biggest thing is you can't always have super long hair when your hair is really, really fine or thin. You're going to see the scalp. You can see it right here. It's splitting, it's parting. It's going to do what it wants to do. If you want to add more shape to your fine hair, it really comes down to having layers in your hair. Now, layering technically is a technique designed to remove weight. You may be thinking, well, wait, I don't want to remove any weight in my hair because it's fine enough. However, what layering is going to do, it's going to also add shape to your hair. So let's just take this mannequin, for example. The hair's pretty long, right? It's relatively long. When you get your hair cut, no matter what you're doing, you're going to be sacrificing some sort of length. It just depends on where. So if you want to keep your hair really, on the longer side, then you have to create more of an internal shape in through here, which is going to create more layering and more volume with keeping the length in through here, all right? So what I tend to do, and this is also, if you're going to get your hair cut at a salon or by a professional, this is something they should be doing. So what you need to tell them is, look, I don't want to lose a lot of length in my hair. I want to just add some more shape to it because I feel like it's laying really, really flat. Hopefully, they should know if they're experienced on what to do. Now, if they say, oh, you have to go a lot shorter, well, possibly. Because they may say your hair, because it's so long, is weighing itself down, you have to go shorter. If you insist on not going shorter, then layers is the answer. Now, if you're doing this at home, I always say good luck. Go to a professional at first because it can be very, very challenging. So let's just say that I want to add more shape to this mannequin right in through here, right? I like you like the length of everything. You're just trying to add more shape and volume. So I took a section, and what you would do if you're doing this yourself is you'd comb from behind. So you're combing from behind, and you're locking it in, and you're cutting basically straight across. You want to build volume in haircuts, a fine hair. When you have fine hair, building volume really is done by cutting everything blunt, right? You want to have those thicker ends. So the next section, what you would do is you would take another little sliver of hair in front of that, and now you have a guide, which is the section that is the previous section that you just cut. And now I'm cutting across, you can see. So you're basically combing from behind and you're working your way towards the front. Now what you can do is take another section or a sliver of hair, and we're going to continue to work all the way to the very, very front. Now, depending on the length of hair you have, you may start to see some more hair that you need to cut. Now, keep in mind, and remember, all this hair that I'm cutting off is all the interior shape, right? It's all on top of the length. It's what's causing the hair to lay very, very flat. That's what we're cutting off. We're cutting off that much needed volume. So as we get towards the front, you can see, because this haircut, it has some length to it. So what we're doing is still maintaining some of that length, but it's getting heavier and heavier as we get towards the very, very front here. So, and even having finer hair, you're going to experience it. So what we're doing now, or what I'm doing, is getting rid of all that excess bulk in your hair that's causing it to lay very, very flat. So here we go, last section right in the front. Now we're not done. You still have the corners and the sides. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to comb this, and I want you to comb this straight up like so. And you're going to see just a little bit of hair right there in the very, very front, and that's what we're going to cut off. So it's going to look something like this. You're going to comb this all straight up, and then what I've done is gotten rid of all the weight right here on top, which is going to add a bit more movement and shape to your hair. So now, let's move on to the corners. Now the corners we've got the top, the corners, and the sides. So you're going to take and you're going to comb from behind. And what you're looking to do is just to see where those corners are right there. The corner is basically where the head rounds. So right on the round of the head. Just think, this is the corner, right? So there's that little amount of hair that we're cutting. So we're creating a rounded type of full shape. And this fuller shape is going to allow you to have more volume in your hair while still maintaining some of that length. Again, this is for somebody who wants to have longer hair, but it's a bit on the finer side. So here we go. And let's comb this slightly back, and you're going to be looking for, and it may not even be that much, but there's that corner, and just got rid of it right there. Now remember, I'm doing this side by side. So this is the one side right here, and then we've got the other side. So now let's go down into the bottom. This is where it may get a little more challenging for you, but once again, it's all about, you combing from behind and finding where to hold it. You may have to tilt your head a little bit. Just try different comb angles and arm angles, depending on how, if you're doing this at home. So once again, now you're down here, you're going to see all of this length in through here, and this is what needs to be cut. It looks like it's length, but it's the internal shape. This is what's causing you not to have shape, is by having believe it or not, even if you have fine hair or thin hair, this is what's causing you not to have that movement, not to have that shape in your hair. So here we go, all the way down to the side, just looking for that little bit, and there it is, right there. Now let's comb all this back, and what I want to do is, I haven't done the other side. The other side, it's doing it the same exact way. So let's turn this around, and again, if you're doing this yourself, good luck. It's all about just getting comfortable with the angles, right? It's getting comfortable with those angles. Here is the corner right there. And if you're somebody, like you're cutting hair at home, because I know a lot of you watch my haircut videos, and you'll do them on like a family member or a spouse or whatever it is, or husband, wife, whatever, it's basically the same thing. But make sure that you're standing in a way, because right now, the front of the face is facing towards me. So I'm putting myself in a position where my elbow, my arm controls everything. So now I'm in the very, very front here. And I'm doing this all dry. You can do this on dry hair, you can do this on wet hair. I think cutting fine hair when it's dry, you're getting to see instant results, right? You're getting to see what's going to happen. All right, now let's go into the sides, down and through here. And we're working our way downtown, right? We're working our way, and there's a little bit of that extra weight. And yes, I know you're thinking, why removing weight, Salon Guy, when the hair's fine? There is no weight. Yes, no matter what, you still have to blend, you still have to connect. This is what's going to build that shape and that volume on this hair texture, right? So let's comb this out. I know you're probably also thinking, oh, that's not fine hair. That's super, super thick hair. Well, it's hard to find mannequins that have like super thin hair, to be honest with you, because nobody's going to buy them then. However, it's the same thing. I'd be doing this technique if this mannequin had half the amount of hair. So it's more about the technique, and I've done this hundreds and hundreds of times anyway on clients and people who I've cut who have that hair type. So this is the same technique regardless. All right, so now in the very, very bottom, there it is, and there we go, cool. All right, so now what I'm going to do is let's take a look at what this whole thing did, right? This whole process, what this did. And let's comb through the hair, and just keep in mind that if you do this when it's dry, you're going to have hair all over the place. Okay, so now as I'm brushing this back, right, and I'm loosening this up a bit, I'm already starting to see a lot more volume and shape. You could even see from the side profile, look how much volume that created. Just from that haircut alone on that one side. Now watch, let's go on this side. You can see how the layers, the shape, it's all coming together, and there it is. So even on this side, right in through here, I've created some volume. So you've got more shape now, you've got more volume. It's able to kind of, have a lot more life to it, so to speak. We've kept the hair long, and now you can see just by doing this, that all this hair that I cut is now getting that lift and that boost that it needed. You could also try parting the hair on the opposite side, maybe a side part, and look at all that volume. All right, so it really comes down to, and look, the length is still there. See how long this is? The length is still there, all this. It's just a matter of what I did internally to help this. And then another thing you can do is just to really finalize this and make sure, we're even Steven, you're on the right track here, is you can take all this hair down the middle. This is what I call the mohawk section right here. Take all this hair down the middle, and you may see some extra weight right there. And then, boom, this is where you get rid of it. So bring everything up to the middle and get rid of it if it's a lot longer, because that's just excess weight that's weighing all the fine hair down and all the thin hair. Just a little bit. Every little detail matters when it comes to doing this type of thing. And if you want to purchase any of my products, any of my hair tools, you can go to shop.thesalonguy.com and you can use code YouTube20 for a nice 20% off discount. So, I hope you found this enjoyable. Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.